The teams then, Ukraine, well, they've gone bold and brave. A lot of their big hitters aren't playing. Alexander Zinchenko, Mikhailo Mudryk, Andrei Yarmolenko all dropped to the bench. Ukraine go to a back five with Alexander Svatok coming into the middle three alongside Ilya Zabani and Mykola Matvienko. Anatoly Trubin is the goalkeeper. Alexander Timchik and Vitaly Mikalenko at wing-back. First time we've seen Mikalenko, Everton's Vitaly Mikalenko in this tournament. The midfield three, Shaparenko, Brashko and Sudakov, which means we see Artem Dovbyk and Roman Yaremchuk up front. The two players for Ukraine most likely to get the goals. One change for Belgium from that win over Romania. Dodi Lukebakio is suspended, so Leandro Trossard comes in for him. Castile's the goalkeeper, Castagna, Fass, Vertonghen and Tiat's the back four. Tillemans and Onana, Trossard, De Bruyne, Doku and Lukaku, who has scored 3 times in this competition, only to see all 3 goals ruled out by VAR. Terrific noise in Stuttgart. This means an awful lot for both nations. For Ukraine, given all the unrest and the uncertainty back at home, and for Belgium, who many anticipated would already be through at this point, still have work to do. The countdown ends in Stuttgart. The referee, English representation in the middle, Anthony Taylor gets us underway. Belgium kicking from left to right as we watch in their change strip this afternoon. That's the light blue, the Manchester City style home kit with the gold shorts and the white socks. Ukraine in their familiar yellow from head to toe. They're defending the goal away to our right hand side. Immediately on the attack with Yaremchuk, who wins a very early corner off Timothy Castagna, and that's exactly the start that Ukraine would want.
Yeah, lovely organisation from the Ukraine, and Dovbyk, he's the one who wins the header. Yaremchuk, he gambles and then gets in behind Fass and get themselves the first corner. Short
corner, Shaparenko laid off to Sudakov, left-hand angle of the penalty area, left-footed ball in, that had decent trajectory, really well headed away, and the eventual ball forward will drop out of play for a Belgian goal kick. Opening minute of the game, 5 live BBC sounds, Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. And for Ukraine, Stephen, this is, as far as their lineup is concerned, I think it took many by surprise, especially the absence of Zinchenko and Mudryk.
Well, I think the big thing is that they know they need a result, and he's just took out the big name players and said, I need a team spirit, I need an organisation between the team to go out and get a result, and them players haven't performed at the level that we expect them to, so this is an opportunity for other players to prove themselves.
Belgium building for the first time in this game. Near side the left is Trossard, who comes back into Belgium territory. Fulham's Castagna with the pink boots wanted to go forward, waved his arm in the direction of De Bruyne to say, yep, that's a good run, but he was ignored. And now Arta Tiat with the ball looking for Doku, the kind of ball he really thrives on, but too much on it, and it's back to the feet of Anatoly Trubin in the Ukraine goal, who came into the team in the last game. Andrei Lunin, beg your pardon, started the first game, but Anatoly Trubin came in after a couple of mistakes in the Ukrainian goal. Referee Anthony Taylor is coming across to have a word with Cohen Castiles here, the Belgian goalkeeper. I'm not too sure, Stephen, what that's about.
Yeah, usually it's something to do with the towel in the goal, the way it's hanging, or something along those lines, but it's been sorted out now, and Anthony Taylor is happy to get the game back underway.
Yeah, maybe the ball is the issue. Is the ball a bit flat, perhaps? Well, it gives us a chance while there is this break in play to see how things have started in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater watching Slovakia-Romania.
3 minutes on the clock here, remains 0-0. Slovakia enjoying the majority of the possession in the early stages. This being played at the Frankfurt Arena, where England and Denmark struggled with the pitch the other day. And Clinton Morrison, it doesn't exactly look like it's recovered too much.
No, the pitch ain't the best. It's not the best, to be fair, but only bad players make excuses like that. I've never made excuses about bad pitches. My touch was always good. No, I'm only joking, but no, the pitch ain't the best, but both teams have started well, in particular Slovakia.
We'll take you at your word, Clinton Morrison. Early stages here, 0-0, Chris.
Thank you both. Ukraine on the attack near side the left, just outside the Belgian penalty area. Sudakov running from left to right, shrugging off challenges. Mikalenko's ball in, deflected, and that made it nice and comfortable for Castiles in the Belgian goal. So with both games level, albeit in the early stages, That would send Romania and Belgium through as 1 and 2. Slovakia would finish third, and Ukraine would be going home. The onus very much on Ukraine to win this game. Belgium on this near side, the right, Trossard, as they kick from left to right. First touch for Lukaku. Nice give and go for Trossard, outside of the football to De Bruyne, who's on the edge of the Ukraine penalty area. Well marshalled out of danger by Zabani, and then Timchik puts it out of play. Belgium have a throw far side the left.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Shaparenko. He just got nutmegged by Doku, but then got injured as Doku put it through his legs, and he was just hobbling about.
Tiat with the ball in on that far side the left. Zabani heads it away. The imposing Amadou Onana picks it up in the centre of the Belgian midfield. The two centre midfielders, you feel, will be key for Belgium, just sitting deep, Tielemans and Onana. Tielemans, who scored one of the goals in Belgium's crucial victory over Romania, and Amadou Onana, who is thought of very highly at Everton. And it's Tiat on the ball on that far side the left for Belgium, who are building slowly in the early stages of this game. Nearly 5 minutes played. Onana again, base of the centre circle, smoothly out to this near side the right, and Arsenal's Trossard, orange boots. Onana in close proximity and gets it back a good 35 to 40 yards out, 6 yards in from the touchline, near side the right. Not really threatening Ukraine at present, but Belgium keeping comfortable possession. Tielemans to Lukaku, well marshalled off it by Alexander Svartok, and through to goalkeeper Trubin, 0-0.
Yeah, he wanted the ball to his feet there, Lukaku, because he was just feeling the defender, and he wanted to make sure that he could receive the ball, then spin him. Tielemans had other ideas. He wanted to play the ball into his path and in behind the defender. A little bit of a lack of understanding between the two players.
5 Live BBC sounds. You can listen to our 5 Live commentary while also watching the match if you head to the BBC iPlayer or the BBC Sport app and click on Euros Extra, watch with 5 Live. And the beauty of it, as and when we switch commentary to follow the story, the pictures will change to the match as well. Euros Extra, watch with 5 Live is what you need to click on BBC iPlayer and the BBC Sport app. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, Slovakia 0, Romania 0. This would send Belgium, Slovakia and Romania through, and Ukraine would be heading home. Belgium building from their right back position. Trossard near side the left, going backwards at the moment, being forced almost into his own penalty area, and then plays a risky ball with his left foot right across the face of the penalty area. Tiata picks it up. It's the kind of ball, Stephen Warnock, you're told pretty much from day dot never to play.
Unless you play it like that.
Unless you play it like that. And De Bruyne is the beneficiary of it. Slides the ball to Lukaku, left foot shot, didn't get anything on it. And that goes down as a chance for a player of Romelu Lukaku's calibre. De Bruyne found him. Lukaku's angle wasn't great, but neither was his connection with his left foot.
I don't know how De Bruyne gets the ball into the position he gets it into, because Lukaku makes a run from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, in between the two defenders, Zabani and Abkok, and he still manages to get the ball precisely into the path of Lukaku. It's just phenomenal vision from Kevin De Bruyne, but Lukaku, he fluffs his line, scuffs his shot, and Trubin will be delighted that there wasn't too much power in the shot.
Yeah, he's Romelu Lukaku, all-time leading scorer for Belgium. It's that kind of position that he often thrives on, but he didn't make good enough contact there. Ball all the way back with Casteels in the Belgium back line, which gives us a chance to nip to Chester Street. England women taking on New Zealand women. Isabel Westbury.
Yeah, comprehensive win there for England women. 9 wickets. They've chased down New Zealand's paltry total of 156 inside 22 overs. A wonderful opening stand. Maya Boucher 67 for 50, and Tammy Beaumont has carried her bat 76 not out for 69 at the end. So 9 wicket win for England in the first of this 3-match ODI series.
Thank you, Isabel. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0 in Stuttgart. Still Belgium keeping comfortable possession. So let's head back to Frankfurt. Slovakia, Romania. Charlie Slater.
Where it's goalless as well after 8 minutes. Slovakia have just had the game's first corner kick, an outswinging corner. It fell to Juraj Kuckery, headed it down into the turf, and that took all of the power off it. It bounced up into the gloves of the goalkeeper. But Slovakia still, Clinton Morrison, narrowly edging this one.
Yeah, we ain't had no clear-cut chances. You can see it's been a nervy start from both teams, but Slovakia are probably the better team at the moment.
They're going to have another corner here as Pekarik takes it away down the right-hand side, looks to fire a cross in. That one is blocked by Banku. So a second corner kick on the way for Slovakia, 0-0.
And if both games remain 0-0, Romania, Belgium, Slovakia are heading through and Ukraine are heading home. Stephen Warnock.
You're enjoying that, aren't you? That it's just level now, and there's nothing for you to worry about. You just know who's going through.
It wouldn't be great for the neutral, would it, if both games ended 0-0, given the hype around this group. But yes, for now, the maths is relatively simple. When it gets into third places and needing to not lose by a certain number of goals, then it gets complicated. But we're not at that stage yet, so we don't have to worry. We've played 9 minutes on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Belgium have monopolised the ball, 71% possession, but most of that possession has been inside their own half and inside their own penalty area as it is now. Casteels to the vastly experienced Jan Vertonghen and the instantly recognisable Arthur Thiat on that far side, the Belgium left-back, with a long black hair that bobs up and down as he sprints forward. Foul in the centre of the Belgian midfield. Zabani on Doku, and Belgium will have this free kick. 0-0, 9 minutes played.
Well, that's the style that the Belgians want, isn't it? They want to play around the back and they want to draw out that press, and then it allows the 3 forward players in Doku, Lukaku and Trossard to get on the ball in 1v1 situations and get turned and faced up against their opponents. And that's what they're trying to do. But at the moment, Ukraine, they're not getting drawn out at ease. They're just taking the time and pressing as and when they feel that it's the right time to go.
Sounds like the chances are beginning to flow with Charlie Slater.
Chance of the game so far, 10 minutes gone, still 0-0, but Romania through Ratsu with the bright blue hair, left side of the penalty area with his right foot, tries to find the far corner of the net. Good diving save though by Martin Dubravka. It fell to Yanis Hadji, and from around 10 yards out he blazes over Clinton Morris.
Yeah, it was good play from Ratsu, the fullback who was on the left hand side. He tried to bend it into that far corner. It was a comfortable save from Dubravka, and then Hadji just came in and came on his weaker right foot, smashed it high and wide. But yeah, it's better from Romania.
Romania starting to have their best spell in this game, Chris. Still 0-0.
They looked really impressive, Romania, in the opening game of this group against Ukraine. 3-0 winners, a couple of really good goals in that game. And they're a decent team when they get going. Doku, meanwhile, for Belgium, dangerous position just outside the Ukraine penalty area. That is quelled, and then Sudakov wastes the ball forward. Gifted back to Doku on that far side, the left. De Bruyne had to scamper to retrieve a slightly overhit ball from Doku, the 2 Manchester City players wearing the light blue of Manchester City this afternoon, not on the same wavelength, and Ukraine can deal with the danger.
Yeah, it's twice De Bruyne's give Doku down the banks for his passing. First one, he didn't release it quick enough and got closed down. It's a poor ball into De Bruyne, and then it's just a simple pass into his path so he could deliver the ball on his left foot, and he overcooked it, allowed the Ukrainian defender to get back in and get the challenge in. But a couple of lazy spells of possession from Doku.
Leicester's Wout Faes moving forward with menace, plays it to this near side, the right. Trossard in field. Onana again, good ball. De Bruyne has a pocket of space but won't get on the end of it. Nice idea, the kind of ball actually De Bruyne plays for other teammates. This time it was Onana with the ball to De Bruyne, but just a fraction too heavy.
Yeah, lovely run from De Bruyne. Just holds the defender, allows himself to get that pass down the side and into the channel, but as you say, overcooked by Onana. And it was a relatively simple pass from him as well.
33 on Friday is Kevin De Bruyne. Just like he is for Manchester City, he's a key cog in this Belgian side. When he plays well, when he ticks, when he performs, then Belgium tend to perform as well. And he's on the ball again in a dangerous position, tries to slide it through to Lukaku, and his attempted ball through took a rather strange deflection off Svatok, which took it looping towards Trubin's goal. In the end, a couple of yards over, Belgium have this corner.
Great interception. If he doesn't intercept this, and it goes into the feet of Lukaku, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Great defending from Zatok.
First corner of the game for Belgium will be taken on the far side, which is their left. Jan Vertonghen wanders forward from the back. Plenty of goals he has scored for Belgium. In comes the De Bruyne corner and headed over the top by Lukaku via Bournemouth's Ilya Zabani, so it'll be another Belgium corner.
Yeah, just making sure that Lukaku doesn't get that free header at the near post. It's such a dangerous position. Again, good defending from Ukraine.
De Bruyne, 2 hands in the air, delivers with his right foot deep to the back post. There are bodies everywhere. 2 from Belgium, 1 from Ukraine. Anthony Taylor, I think, saw nothing wrong with anything there. And the ball drops out of play for a Ukraine goal kick. A little bit of shirt pulling, but nothing certainly to warrant a penalty.
No, I think Anthony Taylor was just holding play so the VAR could double check that and why the Belgian players had gone to ground. Nothing in it, no.
Ukraine have spent the last 5 or 6 minutes on the back foot, with Belgium keeping serene possession, but now they break forward with Sudakov to Timchik on that far side, the right. Dovbyk wants the ball down the line. Instead, Yaremchuk is the target, just outside the penalty area. Timchik to Dovbyk, level with the Belgian box. Sudakov in field. Ukraine keep the move progressing from right to left, and it is with Everton's Vitaly Mykolenko, who missed the opening 2 group matches because of an ankle injury, but delighted to be back in a left wing-back position for Ukraine this afternoon. They played the first 2 matches with a back 4, but are going with a back 5 today. Mykolenko, the target with a diagonal. Touch was a little bit loose, allowed Castagna to nip in, and Ukraine have a throw on this near side, the left, pretty much level with the Belgian penalty area. And it's a chance for Ukraine now to get some touches of the ball, something they haven't really done for the majority of the 15 minutes we've played in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, and still Slovakia 0, Romania 0 in Frankfurt. So it is as you were in terms of the group, with Romania, Belgium, Slovakia going through in that order. If it stays this way, Ukraine will be heading home, and if they play passes like that, with Brashko passing it straight out of play, then they will definitely be going home.
Yeah, really lazy pass from Brashko in midfield. Tries to play it out to the right-hand side, almost gets underneath it. Like a lob wedge and puts it out of play. Simple pass to the right-hand side, though.
Vertonghen ambling forward for Belgium, slides it down the inside left channel. Doku, lovely touch and spin in one fluid motion to get away from Timchik, and now he's heading dangerously into Ukraine territory. He's got Trossard alongside him on this near side, the right, 35 yards out. Trossard, big diagonal, wow, Arta Tiat rather, left-hand angle of the penalty area, occupying the space that Doku vacated. De Bruyne now, central position, was closed down very quickly by Shaparenko, and that drops out of play for a Belgian throw, level with the Ukraine penalty area.
Yeah, he looks good on the ball, Doku, when he drives across the pitch, but he allowed Ukraine defenders to get back to flood the penalty area, or the edge of the penalty area, and then the move just completely slows down from Belgium. And again, De Bruyne telling him to release the ball quicker.
We'll be heading to Slovakia, Romania for an update shortly, but let's see how this Ukraine attack develops. Shaparenko has it, feeds it down the inside, right channel for Ukraine as they kick from right to left. That was Dovbyk on the far side. And in order to keep possession, he's gone all the way back to Zabani, deep inside the Ukraine half. So let's head back to Slovakia, Romania. Charlie Slater.
17 minutes on the clock. Slovakia 0, Romania 0. No surprise really that this is tight. Razvan Marin had a 30-yard, a good 30-yard free kick go just wide of the right-hand post. One of those wobbling rockets where they hit the ball on the injection bit, but the goalkeeper had it covered the entire time. No surprise really, I would think, Clinton Morrison, that this is as tight as it is in the early stages.
Yeah, it's a cagey game. No one wants to make a mistake, and some of the big players haven't got into the game. Harasalin on the left-hand side for Slovakia, I've been impressed with him in the tournament, but he's been quiet. But yeah, it's a cagey start so far.
I don't know if it's a statement on the quality of the game, Chris, but there is a Mexican wave going around the Frankfurt arena. 0-0.
Thank you, Charlie. I think the wobbling Rockets are playing Glastonbury this weekend, aren't they? Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, Slovakia 0, Romania 0, and that would send Romania, Belgium and Slovakia through. Romania would be top, Belgium second, Slovakia third. Now the interesting element of the group, and Belgium being second as it stands, they would play France in the last 16, so they'll be keen to avoid that. The winner of this group will play either Slovenia or the Netherlands. Looks likely to be Slovenia. That will depend on how Group F materialises tonight. Third place in this group will play either Spain or England, again depending on results later tonight. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Ukraine with the ball in their back line. Deflected pass forward that Tiat plays in the general direction of Lukaku, controls it well. De Bruyne, one of those intricate balls with the right foot, looking for Tielemans, who have made good progress. It's back with Doku on the angle of the Ukraine penalty area. Plenty of bodies back for Ukraine, only Lukaku and now Trossard in the penalty area. Doku uses De Bruyne. His pass forward will have to be dealt with by Zabani. Did take a deflection, so would have been a corner. Zabani to Sudakov, and with his pitching wedge finds Mikolenko. Lovely first time touch. Brashko in the centre of the Ukraine midfield, and Ukraine with Matvienko can start again. And Stephen, given that this is the first time we've seen Ukraine in a back five in this tournament, I think Serhij Rebrov will be relatively pleased with how they're looking.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they've looked at ease at times. You're always going to get put under pressure because of the quality of Belgium, but what they've realised very quickly is the outball is the opposite wing back. That frees them up to get them on the ball, give them possession. But I think they've looked okay at the moment, but we just know a lapse of concentration, a lapse of or a misplaced pass in and around the defence can cause them so many problems because of the quality of the Belgium team.
Ukraine have the ball deep inside their own half as we approach 20 minutes in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Sudakov looking good in the centre of midfield. Brilliant effort, Dovbyk, right-hand side of the penalty area. Yaremchuk rather, who took it well in his stride, and his right foot shot was well struck, but sadly for Ukraine, straight at Casteels.
Yeah, nice strike from Yaremchuk. It's the only opportunity that Ukraine have really had to have a shot on goal to give them an opportunity, but what I like about it is he's not passing up that opportunity, he's making sure he goes for it.
Roman Yaremchuk, who scored that crucial late winner in Ukraine's victory over Slovakia, rewarded with a start this afternoon, and he's on his bike once again, approaching the edge of the Belgian penalty area. The left foot shot this time from Dovbyk, from a similar range actually, but didn't get hold of it. In the end, 5 or 6 yards wide, but that all came from some sloppy Wout Faes football.
Yeah, he's got an error in him, Wout Faes. I think it's something that anyone who's watched him in his time at Leicester is he can be overconfident at time on the ball, and that was a really sloppy pass. But they link up well, Dovbyk and Yaremchuk, the two centre forwards from Ukraine. They're not selfish. They try and play as a partnership, and this time the shot is not quite matching the move between the two players.
Dangerous free kick in Frankfurt. Back to Charlie watching Slovakia-Romania.
Where they've nearly taken the lead, Slovakia, direct from a free kick with 21 minutes on the clock. The ball bent in from a free kick. Nobody gets a touch on it. It goes through a bundle of players, and at the back post, they come so close to stabbing that in, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, Skriniar, the ball's whipped in, and Skriniar, he completely misses it. And if he just gets a slight little touch on it, he'll find the back of the net, but it goes wide at the back post. But it's a great ball in, but Skriniar, that's what you want to centre forward. I'm telling you about these defenders, they get a nosebleed when they get into the box.
Says the former striker, just protecting the patch of all strikers. 0-0, he was close to getting on the end of it, so was Haraslin, but close ain't going to do it, still goalless.
Clinton Morrison, Charlie Slater watching Slovakia-Romania. Thank you both. Certainly sounds like there are more chances in that one than this one. Still Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Ukraine beginning to carry more of a threat, although they're on the back foot. De Bruyne to Tielemans. His attempted ball to Doku was cut out by Timchik. Tiat with the long black hair, orange boots, far side the left, back to Tielemans. And Belgium, as they have done for the majority of the opening 22 minutes in Stuttgart, metronomical in possession without doing a great deal with it. Fast to this near side the right, the ever reliable Timothy Castagna. Trossard, the one change for Belgium, replacing the suspended Dodi Lukebakio. De Bruyne's ball is a good one. Castagna now is on the right hand side of the Ukraine box, digs the ball out. Lukaku was lurking and certainly would have got there had Zabani not timed his leap and header superbly. Belgium can still come forward with Onana, dead centre of the Ukraine half. With his right foot plays it to Tiat, who comes forward. Left foot shot is wide, and probably in the end 9 or 10 yards wide.
Yeah, unlucky from Tiat. It opens up for him, but it's such a long way out. It's going to be after an unbelievable strike. But the earlier move from Castagna, Zabani, He does extremely well, but that is why you've got 3 centre-backs to deal with the movement of Lukaku. You should be outnumbering him at all times, and if you dovetail well enough between the 3 of you, it shouldn't be a problem with them crosses coming into the box.
Let's head straight to Charlie Slater watching Slovakia-Romania.
And Slovakia have taken the lead. A wonderful sweeping right-footed ball from Juraj Kucka finds the head of Ondrej Duda unmarked in between defenders around 8 yards out, and that means that it is advantage Slovakia. They lead by 1-0, and that puts them top of Group E as things stand. Slovakia 1, Romania 0.
Yeah, it's a great goal. Duda does it ever so well, but it starts on Skriniar. He knocks a great 80-yard crossfield ball, but once the ball comes in from Kucka, the header from Duda is fantastic. Back where you came from, give the goalkeeper no chance, and they thoroughly deserve it, Slovakia.
Brilliant ball, brilliant goal. 1-0 here to Slovakia. Advantage to the team in blue.
Thank you very much, Charlie. So Slovakia make the first move in this group as Belgium move forward threateningly. Ball into the Ukraine box is cleared, only temporarily. De Bruyne thought about shooting from 25 yards out, instead brings Castagna into the game, near side the right. Now centre of the Ukraine half, Onana. A couple of nice touches to get away from Sudakov. Lifted towards Trossard, couldn't really do a lot with it. He was off balance, not in a great position inside the penalty area. Ukraine hack it clear. Fast steps in front of his man, legally, says referee Anthony Taylor, and Belgium can continue moving forward, although not with any great pace. Onana inside to Tielemans, centre of the Ukraine half. Now Castagna, a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Nice ball to De Bruyne, his first time cross. Did that take the double kiss off the Belgian man? I don't think it did. I think Belgium have won a corner there, but De Bruyne again making that. No, it did come off De Bruyne last. So it will be a Ukraine goal kick, and as Charlie says, advantage Slovakia, and it means Romania now are out of the competition as things stand. With Slovakia winning and Ukraine and Belgium drawing here, Ukraine would make it through as a third-place finisher. With Romania going out, Belgium would finish second, and Slovakia would win the group. Stephen Warnock.
Ukraine would be delighted with that, wouldn't they? If they get that news, they'll be thinking, right, the draw is the result now. I know Clinton was speaking before it, saying, yeah, you go out to win it, but there's got to be an element to protect what you have as well.
Here come Ukraine, far side the right, close to the Belgian penalty area. Brajko urged to shoot, and he does shoot. I don't think that was threatening. Tielemans got in the way nonetheless. And Arta Tiat, with the headband, can clear with his left foot from the left-back position. Lukaku's header was more up than forward. De Bruyne looked like he shoved Sudakov to the floor. He did, but it wasn't given as a foul. Onana can now step out of midfield. Bit of space for Doku, the sort of space that he loves. He's running at the Ukrainian right wing-back Timchik onto his right foot. 25 yards out. It's opening up for De Bruyne, forced a little bit too wide. Castagna's on the overlap. The ball into the back post. Timchik with a stooping header gets it away. Lukaku with one hand in the air. Thumbs up to De Bruyne. It's that sort of ball and that kind of position that Belgium need to find themselves in more often.
Well, if there's anyone that you want to be in that position on the ball, it's Kevin De Bruyne. But what I would say about Ukraine's defence is that they've got a 4v2. They look very comfortable.
Sudakov looking for Dovbyk. He's found Dovbyk inside the penalty area. He's got Yaremchuk in space. Dovbyk now, he needs support. It's back to Sudakov. And his right foot shot is way over the crossbar, leaning back. I think he thought he was under a bit more pressure than he was, but that goes down as a really good opening for Ukraine. Still 0-0.
Yeah, and Dovbyk should do a little bit better. He creeps inside fast, and then you're thinking, hit it with your right foot. You can tell he's all left foot. He doesn't want to hit it. And as it comes back to Sudakov, he goes to hit it, and referee Anthony Taylor is almost in his eye line. He's across him. He hits the ball, skies it over the bar, and then he turns and looks at Anthony Taylor as if to say, why are you in the vicinity of that ball? You should be nowhere near it. You've almost put me off. And he said he was under pressure. It was from the referee. Incredible.
He is very well liked, Georgy Sudakov, in the Ukrainian ranks. 21 years of age, Shakhtar Donetsk midfielder, but very much tipped to make a big move into one of the big European leagues. He's on the ball again here, left-hand side of the centre circle, inside his own half. Trots into Belgium's territory. Mikolenko providing the overlap on this near side, the left. His ball into the box is another good one. It's Yaremchuk, who was off balance and going the wrong way, really, so difficult to guide his header towards Castile's goal, and in the end it drops a couple of yards wide, 0-0.
Yeah, a lovely ball from Sudakov into Mikolenko down the left-hand side, and he passes it as if to say to Mikolenko, I'm going to pass it to you so you hit it first time and you cross it first time. He does exactly that, and it looked like Yaremchuk took the header away from Shaparenko because he was in a better position. Just a little bit of communication, he was the player running onto it. Yaremchuk was almost leaning back, finding it very difficult to generate any power in the header.
Former England international Stephen Warnock with us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, watching Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. In the other game, Slovakia leading Romania by a goal to 0. That would put Slovakia through as group winners. Belgium would go through second and play France in the last 16. Slovakia would play either Slovenia or the Netherlands, and Ukraine, with that goal in Frankfurt, go up a place to third and would play either Spain or England in the last 16. But a goal here or a goal in Frankfurt would change all of that. It would be some story if Slovakia end up topping this group, because, Stephen, out of all the teams, I think you would have put Slovakia as the fourth favourite to make it through top.
Oh, quite possibly, but that's the beauty about football, isn't it? So unpredictable. This tournament's been so unpredictable in the way that it's panned out already, so much more of that, please, because I do like it when football isn't predictable.
And this tournament has been anything but predictable. Thiat moving forward for Belgium. De Bruyne sweeps it out with his right foot to bring Castagna into the game on this near side, the right. Back to Onana, one-touch control, and now Tielemans with the lurid orange boots. Onana again, always wanting to go forward, but finding that particular path through to the penalty area blocked by several Ukrainian yellow shirts, and such is the good work from Sudakov. Onana is being forced all the way back, almost to the halfway line. Svartok comes in with a great challenge to beat Lukaku. Now, I don't think the referee has given the free kick, or has he? I don't think Anthony Taylor did give the free kick, but maybe he has. That looked a good challenge, Svartok, on Lukaku.
Yeah, it was just aggressive, wasn't it? He made sure that he was physical with Lukaku. He's not going to allow Lukaku to get on the ball and turn him, but I think it is possibly a foul on reflection of the replay. Just puts a knee into the calf of Lukaku, and Lukaku goes to ground. He's still just getting to his feet now. This will be a dangerous position, because you know one person who'll be looking at this is Kevin De Bruyne. He'll be stood over this thinking, I can now feed quality ball into the middle.
Svartok and Lukaku, the recipient of a few words from Anthony Taylor, and Domenico Tedesco, the Belgium head coach, chatting with a few of his players while the situation is sorted out by Anthony Taylor. So gives us a chance to nip back to the game in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
32 minutes on the clock. Slovakia still leading by 1-0, and very much good value for it as well. They've had over 62% possession in this game so far, and as things stand, they are going through top of the group, and as things stand, Romania are going out, and Clinton Morrison at the moment, they look rattled.
Yeah, they do. Romania need half-time, and the manager needs to make some changes. Been nowhere near good enough. It's Slovakia the ones who look like they're going to score the second goal in this game.
Slovakia 1, Romania 0, 32 on the clock.
Belgium standing over this free kick. De Bruyne will be the most likely taker. With that game as it is, Slovakia beating Romania, it does bump Ukraine into third, but a Belgium goal would change that. A Belgium goal would then see Romania bumped up to third and Ukraine going out.
Kevin, sorry to interrupt you. Kevin De Bruyne here has just gone over to Anthony Taylor and said, there's someone shining a light in my eyes, with the green light, and it's put him off completely. He's took his time, he's stepped back from the free kick.
He's over it now, one hand in the air. This free kick with his right foot is towards goal and hits the side netting. Well, we've seen that a couple of times recently. Kevin De Bruyne from 5 or 6 yards in from the touchline and 25 yards out, everyone expecting the cross. Instead, he went for the front post dart that Fabio Aurelio tried once against Chelsea and scored all those years ago.
Oh, Trubin was only in the middle of his goal, but such was the disguise and the way that he hit the ball so truly. He nearly caught him out. Great vision from Kevin De Bruyne, and not many people will be able to see or execute it, and he was very, very close to completing it.
Another big chance in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
33 minutes on the clock. Here come Romania. Yanis Hagi goes down right on the edge of the box. Is that inside? VAR will of course look at it, but the referee says that's just going to be a free kick. But Clinton Morrison, Hagi beats his man, all ends up, and it's certainly a free kick, but it might well be a penalty.
Yeah, Hancock, no. Ooh, that looks like, that is a hard one. There's a contact and then he goes in the box. Oh, that's a hard one. I would like to be in that VAR. Hancock, no, the contact's outside. It's a great decision from the referee.
Absolutely.
VAR don't have to get involved in it.
VAR will certainly stand that up, and they'll back the referee's decision there. So it will remain 1-0 here to Slovakia. Although if it all goes wrong, we'll come back to you, Chris Coles.
Thank you, Charlie. Yep, keep us updated as Ukraine come forward with a Sudakov, right foot shot from just inside the penalty area. Didn't really get the connection that he craved. Comfortable save for Casteels, but another moment, Stephen Warnock, where Ukraine get themselves into threatening positions.
Yeah, good work by Mykolenko down the left-hand side, and everything that good has happened for Ukraine has come from that left-hand side with Mykolenko. Pulls it back into Sudakov, and I'm going to be critical. I think he should do better. I think the first touch is poor, and then he's stretching to get his shot away, and Onana just puts him under enough pressure, but I think that was an opportunity.
Couple of openings now for Georgi Sudakov, playing in a midfield three for Ukraine. The back five this afternoon, Dovbyk and Yaremchuk up front, and it's a formation that has caused Belgium a few problems. I wonder if they were expecting it, given that it's the first time we've seen Ukraine operate a back five in this tournament. The fit again Vitaly Mykolenko certainly helps that. He's been a big miss, but no Zinchenko, no Mudryk, two of Ukraine's big players, both sitting on the bench. And watching Ukraine slowly come forward with 10 minutes to play until half-time. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, and Slovakia 1, Romania 0. That's where we go now, Charlie.
Given the penalty, we cannot believe it, nor can Slovakia. The contact is clearly outside of the penalty area. Hanko was booked, but it will be a penalty to Romania. Clinton Morrison, we must be watching a different game.
Yeah, it's the second contact. There was first contact, and that was made, and then it was the second contact that they decided that was a penalty. But the initial first contact was outside, but penalty is given.
It is Razvan Marin who stands over the ball in the Frankfurt sunshine at the end where the Slovakian fans are gathered. Slovakia leading by 1-0 as it stands. Romania going out. But if he scores here, this goal will change everything. Known as the Romanian Xavi, he steps forward and with his right foot finds the top corner of the net. Romania are level. That juggles everything around once more in Group E.
When you said Romanian Xavi, he better put this in the top corner, and it was a fantastic penalty. He sends Dubravka the wrong way, whips it into that top corner. I think it's a harsh penalty. Slovakia will be hard done by, but game on again.
All change in Group E. It changes everything, Chris Cole. Just like you've said all afternoon, when a goal happens, it will change absolutely everything. They all go back to 4 points. It is as you were.
Indeed it is. Charlie, Clinton, thank you very much indeed. So that drops Ukraine back into the danger zone. Ukraine, with that Slovakia goal, were coming through in third, but now Romania's equaliser means Ukraine are back to the bottom of the group. Romania, Belgium, Slovakia in that order. And for all the talk, Stephen Warnock, of Slovakia, Romania maybe being a bit tight and cagey, it's this game that is really yet to ignite.
Yeah, it's really struggled to show any real quality. We've seen glimpses of De Bruyne linking up with Lukaku, but on a whole, I think Ukraine will be delighted with the way this game's panning out, and then they know that they've got quality on the bench to maybe impact it a little bit later in the second half. But so far, so good for Ukraine.
Well, you'd imagine there is someone down there passing on messages from the other game. So the onus is back on Ukraine to find a winner, because if it all stays this way, 0-0 here and 1-1 in Frankfurt, then Ukraine are out. Long ball forward, looking for Mykolenko. That'll skip out of play, and Belgium will have this goal kick with 37, nearly 38 minutes played, 5 live and BBC Sounds. Match of the day, top 10, very much continuing in the Euros. Always a great listen. It's been a wonderful listen over the course of the last few weeks. All about the European Championship, as you would expect. The top 10 controversial moments of the Euros, the top 10 upsets are the two of the latest episodes on BBC Sounds. Here's De Bruyne moving forward for Belgium. Rarely gives the ball away in the kind of position that he loves, but Belgium come forward still with Castagna, near side the right Trossard, level with the edge of the Ukraine box. It's the dangerous De Bruyne again, the drag back and the touch to Onana. There's space on that far side for Doku, who really has been starved of room on that far side. Belgium will hope to get him involved far more. Onana is then bundled to the floor. De Bruyne kicks the ball out in frustration because Sudakov is in a heap on the floor. The whistles of derision you can hear from the Belgian fans because they feel that there was no need to stop the play, and I think they have a point, even though Onana, as he turns away from Sudakov, he plants his foot on Sudakov's right ankle.
Yeah, I wonder whether Sudakov had just rolled his ankle within the challenge, but it's a really nasty one for Sudakov because Onana steps on his ankle and then it buckles from underneath him, and Ukraine players wanted the ball kicked out, and then he ended up just kicking Onana to make sure that the game was stopped and delayed.
And it gives an opportunity for the players to get some drinks on board. Mamadou Onana animatedly speaking with Domenico Tedesco, the Belgian manager, looking very cool in a grey suit with a black t-shirt, the second youngest manager at the European Championship behind Julian Nagelsmann. Wonderful noise in the Stuttgart arena. Many thousands have made the relatively short journey from Belgium to be in Stuttgart, and Ukraine, the national team, have been also brilliantly supported. But this will be the end of their European Championship journey if things stay as they are. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1, Romania 1. So nothing has changed in terms of the points total. It would send Romania through as group winners. Belgium second, Slovakia third, Ukraine going home. Free kick then to Belgium, almost dead centre of the Ukraine half. Creator-in-chief De Bruyne is over it as we tick into the final 5 minutes of a goalless first half on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. De Bruyne, the sweat dripping off his forehead. One hand again in the air, his right hand. Dinks it in with his right foot. Onana the target. Zabani heads away almost on the penalty spot. Tillemans keeps it going for Belgium. It's Doku on that far side, the left. Whenever he gets the ball, 2, maybe 3 Ukrainian players go out to meet him. Lukaku won't get on the end of a rather erroneous ball forward. It wasn't hit with any great accuracy. And Ukraine, with Mykolenko, can just slow things down. Indeed, Matvienko, the captain, just had his arms outstretched to say, let's just calm it down once again. 0-0 with Belgium, but going out as it stands. Mykolenko to Matvienko, left-hand side of the centre circle, very slowly, trots into Belgium territory, then plays a great ball through. It's Yaremchuk looking for Dovbyk when he should have gone for goal himself. That is the clearest opening, probably of the match, but certainly for Ukraine. Patiently built, delivered by Matvienko, the lovely little touch from Sudakov, and Yaremchuk had the goal at his mercy, but tried to square it for Dovbyk, and the chance is missed.
I said before they play as a partnership, but this time you've got to be selfish and put your laces through the ball, have a shot. It's a perfect opportunity for Yaremchuk to just put his laces through it, test the goalkeeper, Casteels, and make sure that he hits the target, ask him a question. That's a big opportunity.
For a man in decent form, Yaremchuk, who scored the goal against Slovakia to put Ukraine in this position and a chance to qualify, kind of chance that he often takes, but this time Dovbyk the target, and a really promising opening wasted by Ukraine, who haven't had many. Mykolenko into the feet of Yaremchuk, who is caught by a trailing Belgian leg, and that'll be the first yellow card of the afternoon to Wout Faes. So Wout Faes goes into the book, a foul on Yaremchuk, Ukraine free kick, which gives us a chance to nip down to Eastbourne. Emma Raducanu has been in action. Russell Fuller.
And a significant moment in her career. She's beaten a top 10 player for the first time. It's the world number 5 Jessica Pegula, the champion on the grass in Berlin last week. Raducanu has won the deciding set 7-5 and taken her place in the quarterfinals in 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Thank you, Russell. Wimbledon not too far away. Coverage, of course, right here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Back to Frankfurt shortly, but we'll see how this Ukraine free kick develops. It's in a dangerous position, 7 or 8 yards out from the penalty box, but quite close to the touchline, so it's a crossing opportunity, and Sudakov stands over it, delivers with his right foot. He tries to go for goal as well, just like De Bruyne tried a few moments ago. Sudakov looks for that front post, didn't really hit it with the accuracy and power required. So come in, Charlie Slater, Slovakia-Romania.
44 minutes are on the clock. It is 1-1, but Romania had a brilliant chance a few moments ago to take the lead. A 2-on-2. Dragush has it edge of the box. He's got options to the right and to the left of him, but he goes on his own and puts his shot wide, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, typical striker. He's greedy. He's got to reverse that, or he's got to give it to Hadji. He had a great run, overlapping run, and he tries to bend it, drag us into that far corner, and it goes wide. His decision-making in them crucial moments have to be better.
You'd have passed it or you'd have shot?
If I shoot, I'll make sure I score, because if not, my teammates are having a go at me. So I probably would have passed it.
Good to know. We're inside the final 30 seconds of the first half, 1-1.
Thank you, Clinton. Thank you, Charlie. Well, if Roman Yaremchuk had gone for goal instead of passing, then Ukraine could easily be leading this game. And if Ukraine were to take the lead, with Slovakia and Romania drawing, Belgium would be out. And that is the fine margins of this group. As it stands, Ukraine are going out, but if Ukraine were to score with the game in Frankfurt level, it would put Belgium in the danger zone. But they are still very much in this competition, still 0-0 with Ukraine, and we have 15 seconds of the first half to play plus stoppage time. I don't think there'll be too much added on by referee Anthony Taylor. One final flourish in this half, maybe. If anyone's going to provide it, De Bruyne will. That's a clever ball. Left-hand side of the penalty area is Trossard, operating on the left now. Back to De Bruyne. Right foot shot. Well saved, Trubin, front post. You could see what he was trying to do, Kevin De Bruyne. Angle of the box with his right foot, try to sweep it in. I think to the far corner, maybe tried to give the keeper the eyes, went for the near post. Comfortable Trubin save, 0-0.
Yeah, the best of Kevin De Bruyne when he drives from midfield and he releases the inch-perfect pass and then backs up play on that left-hand side of the box. The only thing was he was in a standing position, so he couldn't generate any power in the shot to get a decent connection at goal.
Into 2 minutes of added on time at the end of the first half in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. What has been a surprisingly sedate afternoon, I think you could say. We were expecting a lot from this game, considering that Ukraine realistically really need to win. They absolutely need to win now, with the other game level at 1-1, Slovakia-Romania. Still a half of football to go, and as we've demonstrated already in the opening 45 minutes, it just takes one goal here or there and the picture changes quite dramatically. The first time in European Championship history that all 4 teams have been level on 3 points going into the final match. How ambitious will Ukraine be here? We've got 40 seconds of the first half to play, and they're keeping the ball in their back line. Inside the centre circle is Matvienko. Now into the Belgium half. Belgium have every single player in their light blue shirts behind the ball, defending the goal away to our left-hand side. Zabani, impressive for Bournemouth, to Matvienko, the Ukraine captain. Left-footed ball out to Sudakov, who's had 2 of Ukraine's best moments. Hasn't been able to take them. Right-footed ball, that's a clever ball towards Yaremchuk. Was he offside? Not sure he was. He looks across to the far side, realises the flag doesn't go up, and maybe should have done better. Difficult chance, good ball into the box. Yaremchuk's header, I think he was offside in the end, so it wouldn't have counted. And that is the half-time whistle. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, and with Slovakia 1, Romania 1, Ukraine will be heading home. Stephen Warnock, as first halves go, considering the first halves we've seen in this competition, that maybe didn't hit the heights that we were anticipating.
No, probably not, and I think it's probably a little bit of Ukraine not wanting to really open themselves up. They're trying to stay within the game, they're trying to stay very organised and compact, and the system is working well against Belgium. They're finding it difficult to break them down. Belgium have had a couple of moments within the game. Lukaku probably should do better, he should score off the De Bruyne through ball, but on a whole, Ukraine will be very happy. Belgium still not kicked into gear.
A couple of decent chances for Belgium. But the best really have fallen to Ukraine, in particular Roman Yaremchuk, just inside the penalty area, clear sight of goal, but decided to pass to Dovbyk. The pass wasn't really on, and the chance goes astray. So, all to play for in the second half. As it stands, it's as you were. Romania, Belgium, Slovakia, in that order are going through. Ukraine are going out. Half-time in Stuttgart, Ukraine 0, Belgium 0.
Chris, thank you very much. It is a really difficult position for Ukraine to be in, not just bottom of the table, Stephen, there, but the fact that if they are trying to be a little bit cautious in this game, it's relying on there being a winner in the game in Frankfurt between Slovakia and Romania, and that is by no means guaranteed. It's quite a risky strategy from them.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the strategy that they're going for. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get to 70, 80 minutes out and then bring on the substitutes, then really go at Belgium, because if they go at them now, it's very difficult to get away back into the game and to... If Belgium had scored in that first half, then you're having to score 2 goals, which is going to be a difficult ask for them. But if they can stay within the game for 70 minutes or so, then bring subs on, have that impact, it's much easier to do it and then protect the lead.
Yeah, and as Chris said, Ukraine have had the better of the chances. Still more to come potentially from Belgium in the second half. Stephen Warnock and Chris Coles will be with you for the next 45 minutes in Stuttgart when that one gets underway again. Meanwhile, in Frankfurt, it's Slovakia against Romania, and watching that one for us, Clinton Morrison and Charlie Slater.
Where it's 1-1 at half-time, Kelly, and that because of a controversial VAR decision that awarded Romania with a penalty 8 minutes before half-time. Slovakia were good value for their 1-goal lead, which came in the 24th minute. Wonderful cross from Kutska found the head of Duda, headed it back where it came from into the bottom corner of the net, and at that point Slovakia were going through top of the group and Romania were going out in 4th position. But if you needed any example of how ridiculously tight this group is, that equaliser from the penalty spot from Raslav Marin put Romania from 4th right back up to top of the group again, and that is where they stay for now. Slovakia won, Romania won, both sides going through as it stands.
Clinton, Charlie mentioned there a really controversial decision to give that penalty to Romania. What I think the referee has decided there is that there is continuous contact from outside the box into the box, but it looked, to my eye anyway, like 2 separate incidents. What did you think?
Nah, you're spot on, Kelly, with what you said here. I couldn't sum up any better than that. First, there is a bit of contact on the first contact, definitely outside the box, but then he comes into the box. But I think it's basically Hanko, the defender, can't really do anything because Haji's just coming into it and kind of stumbling, and that's why he gives that decision. And I think VAR get that decision slightly wrong in my eyes. I think the first initial contact was outside, but as he stumbles, there is more contact there, and that's why they give the decision. But you summed it up really well there, Kelly. I don't need to be here.
You definitely do need to be. We'd miss you if you weren't,
okay,
Clinton.
No worries.
And we'll be back with you for the second half as well. Clinton Morrison and Charlie Slater are bringing us highlights of the action that's taking place in Frankfurt this evening. But of course, if the story should switch to that game in Frankfurt, then Charlie and Clinton will bring us full commentary of that one. At the moment, our commentary match for the second half is Ukraine against Belgium. That's coming up very shortly. We'll also hear from Anthony Joshua soon, following today's news that he'll face fellow Briton Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title at Wembley Stadium in September. That's to come after the latest BBC News with Jill Mackenzie.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
An inquest concluded that failures across multiple agencies contributed to the death of Zara Alina, who was sexually assaulted and murdered on her way home after a night out in London. Jordan McSweeney attacked her in June 2022, just days after he was released from prison. Our correspondent is Adina Campbell.
He was released just 9 days before he carried out that attack. Now, in their conclusion, the jury here at East Coroner's Court in London, they said that there were serious failures across multiple agencies, including failure to assess McSweeney's risk, attempts to arrest him when he was recalled to prison, and failure to share information and inadequate information sharing.
Constance Martin and Mark Gordon have been found guilty of concealing the birth of a child and perverting the course of justice. The couple are facing a retrial on other charges after the death of their newborn baby Victoria in February last year. A woman whose car crashed into a school in Wimbledon last July, killing 2 8-year-old girls, will not face criminal charges. The Crown Prosecution Service says she had an epileptic seizure while driving, which caused her to lose control. The parents of the children who died say they're not convinced the investigation had been conducted thoroughly. The lawyer for Julian Assange says there are no restrictions on him after his release from prison. The WikiLeaks founder arrived back in Australia today after being freed by a US court. He accepted a plea deal with American authorities and was released on time already served. NHS England is warning of disruption over the next 5 days as junior doctors with the British Medical Association walk out. It's part of their long-running campaign for a 35% pay rise. And the gates have opened at Worthy Farm with around 200,000 people expected at this year's Glastonbury Festival. For the first time, 2 female artists are headlining the event, Dua Lipa and SZA. Shania Twain will play the Sunday Legends slot.
Wimbledon, where every little detail can make the difference. Get closer to the action.
Is the unseeded champion. How has this happened?
Join us down at SW19 for Wimbledon 2024.
Carefully laid plans have been reduced to dust.
Starts Monday
on BBC Radio 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sports
with Kelly Kitts.
Euro 2024 Deutschland.
We're across Group E on 5 Live Sport this evening, and then later on into the night we're across Group F, where it's Czechia against Turkey and Georgia against Portugal, one of the 2 teams in this competition with a 100% record in the group stages along with Spain. They'll be hoping to maintain that, Portugal, with a win against Georgia later on. We'll keep you across everything that's happening there. But in Group E, it is the tightest group after 2 games, and it is still at half-time in those games level on points. They all have 4 points because it's a draw in both of those games. Our commentary game is Ukraine against Belgium with updates from Slovakia against Romania. That might change if the story changes, but we'll be back with them in a couple of minutes. In the cricket, England's women eased to a 9-wicket win over New Zealand in the first of their one-day internationals. Batting first at Chester-le-Street, New Zealand were bowled out for 156. Half-centuries from openers Tammy Beaumont and Maya Bouchier helped England chase that total inside 22 overs. We're only 4 days away from the start of Wimbledon, which will be live across 5 Live, 5 Live Sports Extra and BBC Television for the next fortnight. 2 of their leading women have had big wins today at Eastbourne. In the last few minutes, former US Open champion Emma Raducanu beat world number 5 Jessica Pegula 4-6, 7-6, 7-5 to reach the quarterfinals.
I mean, I'm pretty drained right now, but I just want to say thanks to everyone again for getting me through some really difficult moments in that match.
It was 2 hours and 44 minutes. You had to save a match point. You had to serve for it 3 times. How much of that match was about figuring it out, figuring out a way to beat her?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly difficult when you're playing someone who's so in form like Jessica. I mean, she came off the back of a great run in Berlin, and no doubt she's feeling confident on the grass, but I'm really pleased with how I managed to navigate against some really tough situations, and I didn't think, to be honest, I'd be able to get myself out of it. So I would say this match is, one of the more meaningful ones to me. I think I've been going through some stuff, and to come through, it's been really nice.
That was Emma Raducanu. Russell Fuller has been watching. How did she look, Russell?
I think the most impressive thing from Raducanu's perspective, Kelly, was that, yes, she played very well at times, but she wasn't at her best today, and yet she still showed the grit and determination to beat the world number 5, Jessica Pegula, who'd won the title in Berlin last week. And it was rather nerve-shredding in that final set because she was the better player. She led 5-2. She had a double break advantage, but Pegula broke back twice, and at the 3rd time of asking, Raducanu did serve out the match successfully. So to recover from a set and a break down, to beat a player of Pegula's level, to get a first top 10 win of her career in 2 hours and 44 minutes was a fabulous effort, and she's waiting to find out who she will play in the next round. It could be Daria Kasatkina of Russia.
And Russ, there was a win for Katie Bolter as well.
Yes, and Harriet Dart. They both beat Grand Slam champions. Bolter beat Yelena Ostapenko, who's a former French Open champion, in straight sets, and Harriet Dart came through in 3 sets against Sophia Kenin, who won the Australian Open in 2020. Bolter will play the French Open runner-up Jasmine Paolini in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Dart takes on Leylah Fernandez, who was the runner-up to Raducanu at the US Open of 2021. And that's only the second time in the history of the Eastbourne Championships, which began in 1974, that 3 British women have reached the quarter-final. And we shouldn't forget the man. Billy Harris is into the last 8 of the men's event after beating a fellow Brit, Charles Broome, in a deciding set. And that's his second consecutive ATP quarter-final, because he also reached the last 8 at Queen's last week.
A good news update from Russell Fuller. Thank you very much, Russell. Anthony Joshua will fight Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title at Wembley Stadium on Saturday the 21st of September, after Alexander Usyk vacated the belt ahead of his rematch against Tyson Fury in December. Steve Bunce has been at the press conference in London today. Evening, Buncey.
Is it evening, Kelly? I have no idea. I went into a darkened room in Wembley Arena next to the stadium about 11 o'clock this morning, and I've only just emerged. I can see the arch, I can see the sunshine. I have no idea what day it is or what time it is. I'll take your word, it's
like
evening.
A mole into the sunlight
that's the
in
truth.
London. So Anthony Joshua then with a chance to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion.
And to do it in front of 100,000 people, that's the most amazing thing. And to do it against another British fighter, a guy that holds a version of the world heavyweight title. Between them, they've got something like 47 knockouts. They've only won on points about 3 times in total. And for Joshua, it will be a place in the record books. And what's more, kid, that means he
like
would
your
have
taxi
won.
in the background, Buncey.
Yeah, listen, they've been looking for me all day, that mob, the men in blue, so to speak. I wish it was my taxi in the background. I'm on night bus at the way it's going away. If Joshua wins, that means he would have won the world title, his 3 titles, against champions as a challenger. Got a great long interview with Joshua, sat down with him, and he was in one of the most reflective moods I've known him. And we're not going to play that now because it's too long, but there is a version of that on the pod, the 5 Live boxing pod. He was in great form today, AJ, really good. You would have loved him today. I swear to you, I could have done an hour interview today comfortably.
Oh, that's lovely. And as you say, you'll be able to hear that on the pod, and we'll also be playing out some of it a little bit later on here as well. In terms of his opponent, he lost to Usyk last year, but it made life pretty difficult for him. So is this expected to be quite an even fight?
Listen, there's something about this fight, because Daniel Dubois, he's had a couple of defeats, one to Usyk and one where he took a knee in the 10th round when he had a busted orbital bone, couldn't deal with the pain, went down on a knee when he was leading on 2 of the 3 scorecards, and that's been a bit of a mark against him. People have suggested all sorts of things. He had a fight last December where he was an underdog and he stopped the American in the last seconds of the 10th round, and then back in May when he was a massive underdog, he won the version of the title he's got now against an unbeaten Croatian. So suddenly Daniel Dubois has rediscovered himself. He's 26 years of age. He's much younger than AJ, and they've got some history with a sparring session that we do and don't talk about. And I can assure you there's a little bit of buzz about this. But the real thing is that between them, I think, as I say, it's 46 or 47 knockouts between them. They punch. It's a don't blink fight. Trust me.
And is it a fight that's a stepping stone to get to Fury against Usyk, to set up that fight between Fury and Joshua next year?
Fury and Joshua. Do you know when we started talking about that fight?
About 1975.
Yeah, listen, when we started talking about that fight, your dad was an apprentice. I'm telling you the truth.
This has been going on. So when are we going to get this fight?
May next year. You heard it here first.
Looking forward to it, and looking forward to the build-up. Looking to the build-up with you for another year ahead of that one. Thank you, Buncey. And as Steve Bunce said to us, there's a really good interview with Anthony Joshua. You can hear it on BBC Radio 5 Live's boxing podcast. It's back on tour with Steve Bunce, and on Wednesday the 17th of July, the next stop is a special live show in Liverpool, which features Natasha Jonas, Callum Smith and Nick Ball. But if you go there now, you can hear that brilliant interview with Anthony Joshua. We'll play you a little bit of that later on. At the end of these games in Group E, Slovakia against Romania taking place in Frankfurt. Regular updates from that one. And our commentary match, for now, unless the story changes, is from Stuttgart. It's Ukraine against Belgium, and your commentary team for that one, Stephen Warnock and Chris Coles.
Thank you, Kelly. Both sides back out onto the Stuttgart pitch. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, and Slovakia 1, Romania 1, which puts Belgium, Slovakia and Romania through. Romania would go through as group winners, Belgium in second, Slovakia in third. Ukraine, the onus on Ukraine to find something in this second half. A win would send them through as things stand and would put Belgium down into fourth. That is how tight this group is, and a goal could change absolutely everything. Ukraine will be getting us back underway in this second half, kicking from left to right. Yellow shirts, yellow shorts, yellow socks. And Belgium in their change strip, the light blue, gold shorts and white socks, kicking from right to left. And we are back underway in this second half. 5 Live BBC sounds. What will the second half bring after what was a fairly quiet first half in Stuttgart? Ukraine with early second half possession. The ball swung into the penalty area. That looks good. Dovbyk heads it down, and the right foot shot from Shaparenko was a bit of an air shot, didn't get anything on it. Zabani tidies up Ukraine's defending and then loses possession himself, runs rather tamely into fast. Doku spins away, has a little bit of space in which to frolic into. He's then clipped by Zabani. Doesn't take much to fell a full speed Doku, and it's a free kick to Belgium near side the left. Early stages of the second half. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, it was a good start from Ukraine in the second half, and headed down by Yaremchuk into Shaparenko, and he should do better. He just takes too much time, and the Belgian players comes back, pinches it off his toe. But that was a better start to the second half. We need something special here, Chris, in the second half, because it's been a little bit flat, a little bit slow in that first half.
Yeah, you feel a goal. If Ukraine get a goal and put Belgium in jeopardy, then you fancy we're going to get a really good game. Similarly, in the other game, if Slovakia or Romania can get their noses in front, then it might just change the dynamic. That would put Ukraine up into third, but they can't rely on Slovakia-Romania ending a draw. That would send both Slovakia and Romania through, and a draw is what it currently is in Frankfurt. Regular updates with Clinton Morrison and Charlie Slater, who are watching events in Frankfurt. Belgium, Tillemans, centre midfield, left-footed ball to Trossard. He tried to find Lukaku's run. Ukraine playing with a back five. I'll run you through the 2-11s when there is the first opportunity in which to do so. No changes at the break for both. Onana uses his strength, spins away from 2 Ukrainian players. De Bruyne's first time pass for Lukaku doesn't quite work out, but Belgium are now firmly camped inside the Ukraine half. Doku, Manchester City's Doku, shirt tucked, half tucked in, half tucked out. De Bruyne pointing the way for Tiat on this near side, the left, the Belgium left back, orange boots. No one there as he tried to play it down the inside left channel, and that rather tamely goes out for a goal kick to Ukraine. 0-0 with Belgium. Ukraine with Trubin in goal. The 3 centre-backs, Zabani, Svartok and Matvienko. Timchik and Mikolenko, the wing-backs. Shaparenko, Brashko and Sudakov behind Dovbyk and Yaremchuk, who did combine well in that first half, albeit Yaremchuk maybe should have gone for goal himself when presented with an excellent chance instead of trying to find his strike partner. Belgium with Casteels in goal, Castagna, Fasu was yellow carded in that first half, Vertonghen and Tiat, Tillemans and Onana, and then Trossard, De Bruyne, Doku, Lukaku. That Ukraine team means that Zinchenko and Mudryk both on the bench. We may well see both of them if Ukraine need a goal. Here's Yaremchuk near side the left into Dovbyk now, just inside the Belgian penalty area. Left-footed prod to no one in particular. De Bruyne picks it back up, and Castagna from the right back position can clear downfield for Belgium. And already, Stephen Warnock, 3.5 minutes into this second half, it just feels there's a little more energy from both sides.
Yeah, a little bit more pace injected into the attacks from both teams, and it's just that end ball, isn't it? That end product that's been so often missing. Hopefully we get that moment of quality from a player from either team.
De Bruyne with the captain's armband for Belgium, making one of those trademark foraging runs through the centre of midfield. Tiat finds Doku, who is in the centre of the Ukraine half, not normally where he's positioned. Doku again on the edge of the box, needs to be quick. He's surrounded very quickly. The ball to De Bruyne was on. and I think he caught his man Doku Shaparenko on the edge of the Ukraine penalty area. So that will be a Ukraine free kick. Almost 5 minutes played in the second half in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Let's find out how events have started in the second half in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
5 gone here. Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Almost a real calamity at the back for Romania just 30 seconds ago. Hanko for Slovakia did really well to keep the ball in, but kind of bobbled his cross to the edge of the 6-yard box. It fell to the Tottenham man, Radu Dragusin. It was an easy clearance. Well, it should have been. He ballooned it up in the air, only 2 yards in front of his goal line, and his keeper, Florin Nitta, came forwards, punched it away, and now Romania are on the attack at the other end, down the left-hand side, stabbed forwards, flicked on it. It'll end up in the gloves of Martin Dubravka once more, but almost egg on the face for a moment there for the Tottenham man, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, Dragusin, he just slashes at it. Instead of side-footing it away, he slashes at it, but the goalkeeper does ever so well and managed to punch it in as a right go at Dragusin. Like he's not made a mistake this afternoon, but that's the world of a goalie. But no, this is a good game. I know it was 1-1 in that first half and we had goals, but second half has started much better, so they're going to be a lot more twists and turns, that's for sure.
It is going to be tight, but Group E has been tight from the very first kick. It is 1-1.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, you can say that again. And the tightness of the group looks like it is going to begin and end, because this has been a very tight encounter as well. Ukraine and Belgium still deadlocked at 0-0. De Bruyne spins away from Zabani, who said, nope, don't think that's a free kick. And Anthony Taylor agreed, and Ukraine have possession, right-hand side of the centre circle. Brajko, diagonal, looking for Sudakov, well headed out by Castagna, and now Tillemans can come forward, need support, and he gets it in the form of Doku. Plenty of space for Doku, probably the most he's had in the match. He's running at the penalty area, he's into the box, low ball in, Lukaku was the target, and Svartok clears with the side of his foot. Straight to Tiat though, who is still comfortably 30-40 yards from goal. Doku on the left-hand angle of the Ukraine box. Tillemans will shoot with his right foot, deflected wide, Belgium corner. And already with 6 minutes played in the second half, we are seeing much more goalmouth action than we saw in the entirety of the first.
Yeah, well, Ukraine leave themselves light. They tried to switch at play, and Nikolenko was caught out down that left-hand side. And the right back was covering in, getting closer to his centre-half to help out that overload. And then Doku took advantage, but ball into the box again, can't pick out his man.
Belgium corner, De Bruyne over it once again with a right foot towards the edge of the penalty area, picks out Tillemans, chest to control, right foot shot over the bar, goal kick. He was really speedily closed down on the edge of the penalty area, Sudakov putting him under pressure. Fancy it did come off the Ukraine man last, but the decision is a Ukraine goal kick.
I'm not so sure it did, I just think he gets it horribly wrong. Just he wasn't too happy, Tillemans, but the ball into him, I'm thinking you've got to hit it first time, because by the time you do take that touch, you're going to get closed down. And Svartok, he was the one who got close to him, might have taken just the tiniest of deflections.
Trubin clears downfield for Ukraine, very well supported in Stuttgart. We can see so many Ukrainian flags draped over the bottom tier of the Stuttgart arena on what has been a cloudy afternoon. Has been rain in the air, but clear for now, and we're watching Belgium build patiently from the back. 0-0 with Ukraine. This would send Belgium through, but would send Belgium through in second place and would add yet another heavyweight to an already crowded market. In the top half of the draw, they would go on to play France in the round of 16 if everything stays this way. Romania would top the group, Belgium second, Slovakia would be going through in third to play either Spain or England, depending on events in Group F tonight. Ukraine will be eliminated if it stays this way. Ball over the top, looking for Mikolenko, the Ukrainian left wing-back. Pacily hit, too pacey, out of play for a Belgian goal kick. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, 54 nearly minutes played.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when the managers are going to roll the first dice and take a gamble and try and change the game a little bit, or are Ukraine just very happy now for another 10 or 15 minutes just to stay within the game and then make their changes?
Plenty of firepower to bring on for Ukraine. Mikhailo Mudryk in particular, the Chelsea man, waiting on the bench. Doku spins away from Timchik, who is quick himself and matches Doku stride for stride. Not many can do that. Onana, base of the centre circle, keeps the move going to that right-hand side with a smooth right-footed pass. Castagna ambling forward with no great pace. Onana, Castagna again, right-hand side of the box. This has a feel of a move that is on the verge of breaking down because Belgium are not really full of ideas in this attack, but De Bruyne changes that almost immediately. Good recovering challenge, Mikalenko, and that's going to be a Belgian corner. When Belgium increase the tempo, they look far more dangerous.
Yeah, I think Mikalenko's just injured himself. He signalled to the bench straight away. He's not happy with something, whether it's the recurrence of the injury that kept him out of the first few games.
Corner taken short. Here's Doku on the edge of the box, onto his left foot. Great challenge. There were two Ukrainian bodies hurling themselves in front of danger. Tillemans with the slide rule pass, looking for Trossard. More good Ukrainian defending. Out of play for a Ukraine goal kick, and all eyes on Mikalenko, who is sitting on the floor, looking a bit disconsolate, clutching his left ankle, and that has been the problematic ankle for Mikalenko. He missed the last few games for Everton because of it. He played one of Ukraine's friendlies before this tournament, but only lasted 25 minutes or so. He then missed the opening two group games. Back today, Stephen, but it looks like that is it for his game.
Yeah, it's such a shame as well because he's played extremely well. Mikalenko, he's done well, and it was him who actually got the blocking from Doku, but as he put the ball out for a corner, stopping Castagna, he just signalled straight away, not happy, need to come off. And do you know what the good thing is that I like about that? He's not going to try and carry on because he knows for the good of the team he has to leave the pitch.
Not a bad replacement. Alexander Zinchenko will be coming on. This break in play gives us a chance to check in on events in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
56 minutes on the clock, still Slovakia 1, Romania 1, so that means as it stands both of these sides going through in Group E. Romania top in the group, Slovakia in third, but they will go through as one of the best placed third place teams. As Slovakia play the ball down the right hand side, linesman's flag goes up, would have been offside against Petr Pekarik. But I just wonder, Clinton Morrison, we were wondering this when the mics weren't on just a second ago, whether or not with a draw suiting both of these teams, do at some point they go into their shell a little bit and protect what they've got?
Yeah, well, at the start I said, no, both teams will go for it. And then Stephen made a good point and said, yeah, well, maybe when sometimes you've got something, you keep hold of it. And I think this could play out with 15 minutes, 10 minutes to go. I think both teams will take the draw and know both teams are through. But I don't know. It's a big risk that, because if both teams think, oh, yeah, we'll settle for that, someone scores late on, then you're out of the tournament. So, yeah, but you are right. A decision can be made like that.
Approaching the hour mark, Romania making their first change. Sarescu on, Coman off, still 1-1.
Glorious chance for Belgium while you were away, created by De Bruyne and Doku. Left-footed ball that flashed across the penalty area, courtesy of Doku, and no one there to turn home. Lukaku closest to it, but he wasn't that close to it.
No, he wasn't. The ball was too fast from Doku, too much pace on it. But the other thing I'd say, Chris, is there's only Lukaku trying to get in the box. There's no one else. Whenever De Bruyne picks his head up, Lukaku is surrounded by three Ukraine defenders because they're playing three at the back. There's no one breaking the neck to get beyond Lukaku. It's far too easy for the back line to play against him.
This would be enough for Belgium. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Belgium would go through second in the group to play France in the last 16 if everything stays as is here and in Frankfurt, where it's Slovakia 1, Romania 1. But if Ukraine were to score, then Belgium would be in danger. They're on the edge of their own penalty area, Ukraine, and rather haphazardly clearing. Zinchenko can calm things down, plays it to Sudakov, didn't look. Intricate right-footed flick, didn't work out. Trossard has it for Belgium, who are not doing things with any great pace. Tillemans, base of the centre circle. Fast is the option on this near side, the left. Tiat 2. Instead it's Onana looking for Lukaku. That's easy for Matvienko to intercept. And now Yaremchuk can find Shaparenko inside the centre circle. Dovbyk, that looks a good ball, and he's into the penalty area, but forced wide. Flag is up, so that attack comes to nothing. Shame, because that ball is off and on for Ukraine. This time Dovbyk making the diagonal run from right to left.
He shouldn't be off. He's looking right along the line, and it's a great opportunity. Castagna's made his way forward. down that right-hand side. There's been a turnover in possession, and that is the pass that is your out ball. You know you're quicker than fast. You can just hold your line, and if the ball's right, you don't even have to be quicker than him. You've just got to get your positional sense right. That was a wasted opportunity for Ukraine.
Approaching an hour, Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Still waiting really for the first glorious chance in this game. We've seen half chances. Yaremchuk with the best of them for Ukraine. Maybe that was more than half a chance, but it remains quite a cagey affair. Tielemans spreads the play and finds Trossard looking for the run of Lukaku. Pass was blocked at source by Matvienko. Sudakov can come clear. Ukraine are just struggling to keep hold of the ball when it breaks down in the Belgian midfield, and it's Tielemans with the white wristband on his right arm brings Tiat into the game, and now Doku once again shifts it quickly onto his right foot, but he brings it away from the penalty area in order to keep hold of the ball. Tiat on this near side, the left, and Tielemans all the way back to Jan Vertonghen, who is just inside the Ukraine half. Once again, Belgium are progressing forward without any great tempo. To Charlie Slater shortly, but Onana plays it cleverly to Trossard, feeds it down the line one more. It's with Fulham's Castagna, level with the edge of the Ukraine box. Onana, and backwards and square it comes again. And Belgium, for whatever reason, reluctant to get the ball forward quickly. They're moving it from right to left, from left to right. No real danger for Ukraine, who are quite happy to sit in front of their penalty area and negate the rather tame Belgium threat. Back to Slovakia, Romania. Charlie.
Where Romania are knocking at the door. It's still 1-1. We've played 61 minutes, but some really good build-up play down the right-hand side. Razvan Marin, who already scored once today for them, tests Dubravka in goal. The ball then comes back out in the direction of Dragush, and with his right boot tries to find the far top corner, and instead it hits the stanchion holding the net up behind. The heavens have opened in Frankfurt. Beautiful day earlier on, Clinton Morrison, but you wonder whether or not a little bit of bad weather and the energy and the tension that helps to provide is going to take these teams up a gear.
No, and it will make the pitch more zippy. We can see it was cutting up massively early in that first half, and now it'll be more zippy, 1 and 2 touch. But Romania slowly but surely in the second half growing into the game. They were poor in that first half. They were lucky to go in level, but they've been much better in the second half.
1-1 at the moment as it stands, both going through.
And Ukraine are going out, with Belgium also going through. Thank you, Clinton. Thank you, Charlie. Couple of Belgium changes meanwhile. Leandro Trossard and Yuri Tielemans. Their games are over, and Yannick Carrasco and Nottingham Forest Orel Mangala are on to replace them, both like for like. Stephen Warnock in both regards.
Yeah, when I'm watching Belgium and the way that they pass the ball, it's very slow, and I'm looking at Mangala and I'm thinking, is he going to inject pace into this team and really put Belgium on the front foot? I don't see that. Carrasco, yeah, he's unpredictable, isn't he? We know that. He's very capable in 1v1 situations, but from the way Belgium are playing, am I okay saying I'm bored? In watching them, the way they play, it's so slow in the way they do things.
I think many England fans would say we've seen this somewhere before. Possession is sound, but not particularly dangerous, and Ukraine are happy at the moment, but they won't be if everything stays this way. As Charlie was mentioning, it's fine in Slovakia and Romania, fine in Frankfurt for Slovakia and Romania. A draw would send both through regardless of what happens between Ukraine and Belgium. Belgium also fine at the moment with scores as they are. It's Ukraine in trouble. Back to Frankfurt we go. Charlie.
This time a chance for Slovakia. It's not boring down here, I tell you, Clinton Morrison. This time David Strelic, 18 yards out with a low effort, fires it straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it's good play down the right hand side, and Strelic gets it and he just drills it, but it's comfortable for the goalkeeper. Even to be fair, it's a good save now watching it, and he's going one way and he saves it with his feet. It's a really good save, but yeah, this is end to end now. This game is really opening up. Sorry, Stephen, that yours is boring, mate. It will get better.
1-1 here. We're having a swell time.
I'm glad you're both enjoying it. This has been interesting. It's not maybe, Stephen, been end-to-end, but because of what is at stake, it does make it a very intriguing watch, because at some point it has to change. Ukraine have to change it, otherwise they're home.
Well, that's the dilemma that they've got, and I think their game plan is very clear as they lose the ball again.
And to the man they don't want it to fall to, De Bruyne finds Lukaku, right-hand side of the penalty area, all on his own for now. Lukaku's left-footed shot, easy in the end for Trubin in the Ukraine goal. Opened up the body, tried to find the bottom corner. Didn't really have the accuracy nor the power to trouble Trubin.
No, credit to Spatok, because what he does is he pushes Lukaku onto his left foot and he on his right foot, and then he makes Lukaku go wider and wider. Then as he comes in on the inside, it's very difficult to bend it into the far corner. He can't get any accuracy on it, and any pace on the ball. Good defending. Oh, that was a dangerous situation.
And it sounds like another dangerous situation in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
Slovakia again, the heavens have opened, and now we're getting loads of chances. Lukas Haraslin on the right-hand side, the left-hand side with the right boot, and we're right behind it, Clinton Morrison, and it looks like for all the world that's curling in the bottom corner.
Yeah, Haraslin, he does ever so well. As I said, I think he's been their best player over the tournament so far, but he just cuts in, gets half a yard, he tries to whip it into that far corner, and it's just narrowly wide of the post.
Top scorer in qualifiers, best player as well here, according to Clinton Morrison at the European Championships. Wonder if a few clubs will have a look at Haraslin. Still one or more changes on the way for Romania.
25 minutes to play, pretty much in both of the matches. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. A result that sends Belgium through and Ukraine home. Doku trying to make inroads on this near side, the left for Belgium, as they kick from right to left. Used his body illegally, according to referee Anthony Taylor. And that will be a free kick on the edge of the Ukraine penalty area. You wonder for Belgium, Stephen, that yes, they're going through as it stands, albeit they're going through in second, which means they play France in the next round, should it stay this way. They won't want to be going in at 0-0 with 10 minutes to play, because should Ukraine score, it then puts Belgium right at the bottom of the group.
Yeah, and that's the dilemma, isn't it? But I just feel that Belgium are they're not quite clicking into gear. I think that they're comfortable in the game and the way that they're playing, and they feel like they've got Ukraine at arm's length, but they're just flattering to deceive at the moment, Belgium.
Ukraine with Shaparenko near side the right, attempted ball forward to find Dovbyk. That's cleared rather comfortably by Belgium. Nothing comfortable about possession in midfield though, because Ukraine are ratting around with speed, looking to dispossess Lukaku, who's done really well, and De Bruyne has space. If Carrasco finds him, Carrasco goes his own way, and that was not the right decision. Yannick Carrasco running out of room and running out of ideas on the edge of the penalty area. De Bruyne was the pass, and he rather ran down a cul-de-sac, and the chance goes away.
Yeah, I just wonder whether he thought that De Bruyne had gone a little bit too early, and if he'd have played the pass he might have been offside, but he wasn't. De Bruyne was looking right along the line, held his position. Credit to Timchik though, he recovers extremely well. Carrasco doesn't see him because he's coming from behind, making sure that he's on the opposite side of him, and then he just pinches the ball off him as he goes to shoot. Great defending from Timchik.
And he was just caught by... Well, he just landed awkwardly, Timchik, on his way down. He wasn't caught by Carrasco, but such was the endeavour to block. He just landed slightly awkwardly on, I think, his left ankle. So he is receiving treatment. He's being helped to his feet. I think he'll be okay, but because he did receive treatment, Anthony Taylor is ordering him off the field. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, 68 minutes. Back to Charlie Slater.
Still one apiece between Slovakia and Romania in Frankfurt, but boy did the rain come down a few moments ago as Romania tried to get in down the right-hand side. It was Mann, one of the two substitutes that came off the bench about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and the pitch is really showing the after effects now. When we talk about rain, this is serious rain. It's splishing and splashing about all over the place.
Yeah, it's good conditions though. If you're a centre forward, there could be mistakes here by the goalkeepers or by centre half, so these are conditions you love playing in. But yeah, it looks like it's stopped now, the rain, but it was coming down torrential just a minute ago.
Ball held up there in the middle of the pitch, as well as Skriniar tried to find a little pass to Vavro at the back. So as Clinton Morrison was saying there, and proved quite prophetically, it could be an error from a defender that could see one of the strikers in. So wet that Clinton's putting his raincoat on. 1-1.
Thank you both. 0-0 in Stuttgart, Ukraine and Belgium. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. The beauty of Euros Extra on the iPlayer and the BBC Sport app is that when we switch the commentary, as we've done regularly today, because of the kind of game it's been, the pictures will change to match as well, so you won't miss any of the action here in Stuttgart and in Frankfurt. Free kick has been given to Belgium, and a yellow card has been given to Artem Dovbyk for a shirt pull on Onana just inside the Ukraine half.
I'm just wondering how he's trying to argue against that, Dovbyk, because it is a clear pull on the shoulder of Onana, pulls Onana to the ground, and not sure.
Triple change for Ukraine is being made. Taras Stepanenko is one of the men to come on, so is Ruslan Malinovsky. Roman Yaremchuk is leaving the field, as is Mykola Shaparenko, and also Vladimir Brajko. So 2 centre midfielders and a striker departing for Ukraine, and Vanat Malinovsky and Stepanenko all coming on. Taras Stepanenko and Ruslan Malinovsky both play in the centre of midfield, and Vladislav Vanat comes on as well, who can play on the, plays more or less on the wing. So potentially like for like all across the board there, Steve, and it certainly looks like Ukraine are sticking still with their back five, just a change of personnel.
Yeah, a little bit more injection of fresh legs, and now you've got to step up the pace. Now can you put Belgium on the back foot and take the game to them a little bit more by bringing more energy into the pitch.
Tiat for Belgium, Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. 20 minutes to play in Group E. This remarkable group has 20 minutes to run, and it's a group that has Romania at the top of it as things stand. They are level with Slovakia in Frankfurt. That would also send Slovakia through in third place, Belgium going through in second, and a meeting with France in the round of 16. If Ukraine were to score and get a goal, it would all change again. It would put Belgium down in fourth, and they would be eliminated. But Ukraine, for all of their work and endeavour in this second half, have not really tested Cohen Casteels in the Belgian goal. But there is still time, and with fresh legs, you never know. Here is one of those newbies. Malinovsky to that far side, the left, and Matvienko, and now Zinchenko, who came on for the stricken Mikolenko around 10 minutes ago. Zinchenko slows it right down for Ukraine, enjoying some rare possession in the Belgian half. Direct ball forward that fast cuts out before Dovbyk can get on the end of it, and Tiat can come forward for Belgium. That's a clever looking ball for Doku, ever the willing runner, and he'll get there, but he's doubled up on almost immediately. But he's away from one and two, ball just behind Lukaku, who was fractionally inside the penalty area. He was going one way, and he found it very difficult then to move his considerable body the other.
Yeah, cut, copy, paste. Every single time Doku comes inside, there's only Lukaku. 2 players around him, ball's got to be inch perfect. It's far too easy for Ukraine to defend against this Belgium team. No players looking to break the neck, to get beyond Lukaku, to make a run into the box behind him, so that Doku's then got 2 options. Then the Ukraine defenders have got to think a little bit differently. At the moment, sole concentration is on Doku and Lukaku.
Belgium are still probing. Doku, who has probably seen more of the ball than any of the Belgian midfielders, maybe bar this man, De Bruyne, operating right in the middle of the Ukraine half, orchestrating proceedings, pulling the strings, but not very successfully at the moment. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Mangala into Carrasco, and Lukaku holds it up well. Carrasco's right foot shot. Trubin makes a good save. Danger not clear for Ukraine. It's got Doku on the edge of the penalty area. Onto his right foot. Shooting chance for Doku, who finds Svatok in the way. That was almost blocked at source. Still here for Belgium. Carrasco now forced out of the penalty area. De Bruyne is a decent offload. His ball to the back post. Malinovsky's clearance was errant. Lukaku nearly got on the end of that. Ukraine eventually swiped clear. And that was probably Belgium's best moment. But now Dovbyk spins really well. And he's through here, left-hand side of the penalty area. He's got Vanat in support. Dovbyk goes alone. That's good defending, Wout. He read exactly what Dovbyk was going to do there. Onto his left foot, Fast read it, got in between body and ball, and clears for Belgium. And suddenly, the game becomes stretched, 0-0.
Yeah, well, I knew what Dovbyk was going to do at the halfway line if he got clear. He was always going to look to get on his left foot. It was telegraphed. It was in the Beano about 3 months ago. That was how old it was. It was so easy for Fasta to read the play, and he should be doing better.
It's those little moments that Ukraine need to take. If the game plan has been to this point, which has been very successful, to sit in, to defend well, which they have done, 5 at the back, and take the opportunities that come. They're doing the first part of that plan, not so much the second, with 16 minutes to play now. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Here's the chance for Dovbyk, left foot shot from post, Fass in the way once again. He's using his strength really well, is Artem Dovbyk. Just can't quite find the end product. Zinchenko on the left-hand edge of the Belgian box, chipped in, cross-deflected, and Castells prevents the corner. But as we tick into the final 15 minutes, the intensity you feel from Ukraine will just rise because they need a goal. At the moment, they're out.
Yeah, what a challenge from Fass. He does extremely well because as the long throw comes in, it just falls to the feet of Dovbyk. There's nothing creative about it, but Fass reads the danger, jumps into the challenge and stops an almost certain goal. Outstanding defending.
Romania going through as group winners, Belgium in second and Slovakia in third, providing nothing has changed with you, Charlie Slater?
Nothing's changed, still 1-1 inside the final 15 minutes of the game. A few changes made now by both managers, but it's been 1-1 since the 37th minute after that controversial VAR penalty converted by Razvan Marin. A few moments ago, Slovakia with an effort from range from the most unlikely of sources, the big burly centre-half Denis Vavro from around 25 yards out, and Clinton Morrison, no surprise it didn't test the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He's 40 yards out trying to work the goalkeeper there. He was leaning back, he had no chance. But it's getting to that crucial time now where you're thinking, does both teams settle for a draw? Do we look at each other and say we'll have a draw? But it's not happening. Both teams are still pushing for that winner.
Yeah, an invisible handshake and perhaps just a little wink and a look in the eye. But 1-1, good enough for both of them at the moment to make it through to the last 16.
Good enough for Belgium as well, not good enough for Ukraine, who either need to score in Stuttgart or hope there is a winner in Frankfurt, because that then would put Ukraine up into third place. Wouldn't necessarily qualify Ukraine. They'd have to wait for events in Group F, which follow us here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Georgia, Portugal, and Gelsenkirchen and Czech Republic, Turkey and Hamburg, both 8 o'clock kickoffs. Coverage here on 5 Live. There's still a few things to be sorted in that group, bar the group winners, who are Portugal, but Georgia, Czech Republic, Turkey all have eyes on making the last 16. And then that is that for the group stages. And then always the worst part of the tournament, a couple of rest days where we all look around at each other and think, what did we used to do when when football wasn't on? A couple of days rest, and then it's the last 16 which gets underway with Switzerland, Italy, Germany, Denmark. Full coverage, of course, here on 5 Live. BBC Sounds. Jeremy Doku's game is over. He's seen a lot of the ball but hasn't done a great deal with it. So Jeremy Doku is off the field and Johan Bakayoko comes on in his place. The very exciting PSV winger. Left-footed, playing on this left-hand side. Does like to cut in, so maybe he'll operate on the right-hand side, we'll see. But it's another like-for-like. Doku off, Bakayoko on. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. 13 minutes to play.
Yeah, he looked a little bit tired, didn't he, Doku? He's put a lot... he's probably sprinted with the ball about 20 or 30 times. The way every time he gets it, he wants to get in a 1v1. Looks to stretch the pitch, but towards the end of the game, with just over 14 minutes to go, he is going to be tired, and that is a good change.
Ukrainian coach Serhii Rebrov looks on. We get a glimpse of Andrei Shevchenko watching in Stuttgart. What a formidable strike partnership they were for Ukraine. Shevchenko and Rebrov. Rebrov, the former Spurs and West Ham striker, would have been fearing the worst after Ukraine's first game, that 3-0 hammering by Romania. They were pretty abject in the first half against Slovakia as well, but improved in the second half to win the game, and they have played well today. There's no question about that. They've defended well, they've absorbed the pressure that Belgium have exerted, albeit not brilliant pressure, but they've squandered the chances that have come their way, albeit not brilliant chances, but still chances nonetheless, and they need to take one of them, otherwise their European Championship journey ends in Stuttgart today. They have the ball just inside the Belgium half. Yellow shirts, yellow shorts, yellow socks. Kicking from left to right. Malinovsky swings it out to Zinchenko. Far side the left, 3 yards in from the touchline. The white-booted Zinchenko. And now Steparenko, one of the changes in the second half. Sudakov finds a gap and bursts through it. He's now almost into the penalty area. Dovbyk onto his right foot, shoots right-footed and finds the side netting. Close, really close, Ukraine. And another warning sign for Belgium, flashes just wide of their goal. Dovbyk with the right foot. Casteels may have had it covered, but still a decent opening. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0.
Yeah, well, everything that's good has come from Sudakov, and he's the one who drives forward, gets it into Dovbyk, and this time he does take the shot on with his right foot, and some of the Ukrainian fans behind the goal thought it was in, as it just hit the side netting, and they perhaps thought that it crept in at that near post, but that was better from Ukraine.
Just a reminder, as things stand, a goal for Ukraine would send them through and would send Belgium out of Euro 2024. Belgium still going through as it stands. They're going through in second. Romania are winning the group. Slovakia are finishing third, and Ukraine are heading home. But that can change. If Ukraine were to get a goal, with Ukraine then winning and Slovakia, Romania drawing, then Ukraine would not only go through, they would go through as group winners. And that is how quickly and how dramatically this group can change. Andrei Yarmolenko is coming on for Spartak, the centre-back. So that is absolutely a change of formation. Andrei Yarmolenko for Spartak, the centre-back. And this, presumably, Stephen, is a move to a back four.
Yeah, and you can hear the reaction from the Ukrainian fans. Yes, it's Yarmolenko, who they adore, and is their outstanding performer over the years, but now that's also because it's a change of personnel, it's a change of formation. That spells that you want to go for the game, and that's what appeases the fans.
Andrei Yarmolenko's 122nd appearance for Ukraine, his country's second most capped player, and he's on for the final 10 minutes or so to get a goal for Ukraine, a goal to send them through and a goal to send Belgium out. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, ball out of play for a Ukraine throw just inside the Belgium half. Back to events between Slovakia and Romania. Charlie.
Where we are inside the final 10 minutes of the game, and as things stand, good enough for both of these two sides to progress to the last 16 of the Euros. It's still Slovakia 1, Romania 1. It would be a huge deal for both teams, Clinton Morrison, if they were to make it out of the group. Romania haven't done so since the turn of the century. Slovakia looking to do so for what would only be the second time as an independent nation, and they have a free kick on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it would be fantastic for both countries, to be fair, because the favourites were probably Belgium and Ukraine. They're the two that I looked out and thought, would have a great opportunity, but dangerous position there for Slovakia.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a free kick that will be taken by one of the substitutes, Tomáš Suslov. It's around 20 yards outside of the penalty area and on the left wing. Both of these sides got plenty of size. Here comes the left-footed out-swinging ball, drops towards the back post. The play's still alive for Slovakia as it's lifted back into the penalty area and then smashed clear by the Romanian captain Stanciu. 1-1 here.
Ukraine have a corner in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Ukraine need a goal to make it through. Plenty of bodies inside the box. It's a corner into the front post that from first sight looked appalling, but I think it was heading in, and Casteels had to race across his line to prevent what would have been a bizarre goal. I think it was going in. It's a good save in the end.
It's an incredible save, because whether Yarmolenko sees him or not, I'm not so sure. He just tries to fizz it in that near earlier. The goalkeeper ends up in his goal, but he keeps the ball out.
Second corner, Malinowski over it, left-footed ball in, is headed over the top, and that is a good chance. Headed over the top by Taras Stepanenko, who is arriving from 7-8 yards out. He just had to guide it into that top corner, but got a little too much on it.
Yeah, difficult header. He was always sort of under the ball and finding it difficult to find that far post. He tried to get too much on it. It was a great ball in again from Malinowski. It was Malinowski who had the attempt at goal. I said it was Yarmolenko, but it wasn't. It was Malinowski. Vicious shot at goal. Well dealt with by the goalkeeper, Casteels.
The voice of Stephen Warnock, former England international, with us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, watching Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. The climax of Group E sees Slovakia, Romania and Belgium heading through, and Ukraine heading out unless they can find a goal in the final 6 and a bit minutes plus stoppage time in Stuttgart. Belgium will have a throw deep inside Ukraine territory. Artur Tiat will stand over it. Ball in his hand, he'll launch this into the penalty area. A goal for Belgium would see them top the group and avoid France in the next round. Tiat hurls it in. Ukraine deal with that successfully enough, but Tiat will pick this back up. 25 yards out from goal. Onana has to think quickly because he was being closed down at some speed by Van Aert. And Ukraine, as they've done throughout the game, pressing Belgium very accurately. It's all the way back with Casteels in the Belgium goal. He clatters it downfield with a big left foot. Comfortable control by Matvienko, and now Zinchenko has space. First touch isn't great, allowed Onana just to nip in inside the Belgium half. That's not a great ball forward by Castagna, and Belgium now just a little bit loose and ragged in possession. Here goes Malinovsky, and now Yarmolenko, 25 yards out, right foot shot, comfortably blocked at source. There was an audible rise of noise when Yarmolenko picked that up in a dangerous position. He is the kind of player, Stephen, the kind of maverick that Ukraine might well rely on to get a goal in the remaining 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the angle was just so difficult, but he just gave in to the crowd, didn't he, and tried to get that shot away. It was 30 yards out, and it was always going to be difficult, but Ukraine just being a little bit sloppy now.
Yeah, Vertonghen intercepts for Belgium now. De Bruyne charging up the centre of the field, onto his right foot. He's got Lukaku wide, but very wide, onto his right foot. Looking for Bakayoko inside the penalty area. It's Matvienko in the way, behind for the Belgian corner. These are crucial moments in the European Championship. Ukraine can ill afford to concede. Belgium know a goal takes them through top of the group. Matvienko in the way with some decent defending.
I'm just keeping my eye on Timchik. He's the one who's struggling. He's cramped up. He's struggling to keep up with play. Tried to pull down De Bruyne. Tried to just jump on his back because he's really struggling.
De Bruyne over this corner, and he goes short. It's Bakayoko to De Bruyne. Better angle for the cross maybe. Instead it goes into a central position. Vertonghen all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now maybe that is an indication of how Belgium are planning to play the final 5 minutes of this game. A draw is good enough for them, but only good enough for second place and a round of 16 meeting with France. Ukraine goal sends Ukraine through as group winners and would send Belgium home as it stands, with Slovakia drawing 1-1 with Romania. They're both going through as well. Yarmolenko's cross, headed away by Onana. It's dropping inside the Belgian penalty area awkwardly. Yarmolenko will challenge with Tiat and win the ball. Yarmolenko, edge of the penalty area, swings it in, headed away by Castagna. De Bruyne's little flick, and now Belgium can break. Ukraine committing players forward. It means they're lights at the back. It's 3 against 2 in Belgium's favour. De Bruyne forced slightly wide, but he's in the box. Bakayoko's left foot shot wide, and that would have finished Ukraine off. But Belgium cannot take the chance, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, well, the game's just come to life in the last few minutes. It's become like a basketball game, end to end. This time Carrasco, he picks De Bruyne out, but the ball is poor to De Bruyne. It's behind him. It doesn't allow him to get the shot away, and then it falls to Bakayoko. Never looked in his balance, and then he puts it wide of the post.
Less than 3 minutes to play in Stuttgart. 5 Live, BBC Sounds. Ukraine 0. Belgium 0. Ukraine have 3 minutes plus stoppage time to find a goal that would take them through and would eliminate Belgium. In comes the ball from Timchik. Clever. Dobrik controls inside the penalty area and lays it off to Malinovsky. Left foot shot was travelling until it clattered into, I think, Vertonghen. No, it's Castagna who's lying inside the penalty area. Malinovsky hit that with such venom. That was travelling at some speed. Castagna in the way and may well have saved a goal.
Yeah, lovely play by Dovbyk. He just holds the ball up, he's waiting for support, and Malinovsky strikes it as well as he'll ever strike a ball. But Castagna, he gets himself in the line of the ball in the goal, gets that block in. I do think the goalkeeper, Casteels, would have saved it. It was probably just down his neck, but that's better from Ukraine.
And we're looking at a replay of the Malinovsky corner that was very nearly directed straight in, and well, the fact that we're looking at goal line technology tells you just how close it was. Certainly didn't cross the line. Say, what, an inch of the ball maybe had crossed the line? Casteels did really well to scamper back. That would have been some way for Ukraine to potentially score a goal to win the game and send them through and eliminate Belgium. Ukraine, Zinchenko inside the penalty area, touch lets him down, and he managed to gather that. There was a crossing opportunity. He looks to the skies in disappointment. Belgium will have this goal kick. They can waste a few more seconds. We're into the final minute of normal time with stoppage time to come. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Romania heading through as group winners. Belgium second, Slovakia third, and Ukraine out as it stands. Romelu Lukaku's game is over, and he is being replaced by Lois Openda, the RB Leipzig winger, who is the antithesis of Lukaku, who's very strong, great hold-up play. Openda, pocket rocket, pacey, and maybe pace is not a bad thing at this stage of the game for Belgium.
Now it could be key to Belgium unlocking the defence very late on and sealing their the top of the group status if they were to win this game, because he is lightning quick, as you say, Chris.
We're approaching stoppage time. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. There will be 4 minutes of stoppage time in Stuttgart, 3 minutes of stoppage time in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
Stoppage time, yes, by about 30 seconds. Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Both teams edging ever closer to a historic qualification for the last 16. As it stands, this draw good enough to take both of them through, with Romania winning the group and Slovakia finishing third, but they will go through as one of the better third place teams. Meanwhile here, the Slovakian goal scorer Duda has just been booked. He won't mind, he's stretching out cramp, and as I said, a point is good enough for both, so I don't think the Romanian players mind either that he's stretching out some cramp.
Nah, definitely not. This has got a draw written all over it, to be fair. I can see this free kick going into the corner.
Clinton Morrison there for us on BBC 5 Live. Slovakia 1, Romania 1.
Ukraine bursting forward with such pace again on the edge of the Belgian penalty area. Really good run, Sudakov, and when he needed a finish, he found Casteels in the way. It wasn't a great finish, straight at the goalkeeper, Stephen Warnock. That's another excellent Ukrainian chance.
Yeah, it really is, and he's been at the heart of everything that has been good from Ukraine, Sudakov. But as he bursts through, you can just see the energy sapping out of his legs. Then he tries the shot at the end of it, gets no power in it at all. I just wonder whether the side foot would have been a better option for him, but that is a big opportunity.
Belgian fans annoyed that Lois Openda didn't get the free kick. Anthony Taylor waves play on, and Ukraine can come forward again. They have 2.5 minutes to find a goal to send them through and knock Belgium out. It's with Van Aert, well defended by Mangala, inside the Belgium half. Belgium looking to slow things down. If there is a goal in the other game in the final minute or so, which looks unlikely, given Slovakia and Romania would both go through, but if someone was to find a winner, then Ukraine would move up to third, but they can't rely on that given the comfort Slovakia and Romania currently have. They'll both be going through. Belgium likewise. Carrasco has it for Belgium, approaching the edge of the Ukraine penalty area. This is exactly the position that Belgium need the ball to be. If they see out the remaining 2 minutes, they will go through, but they'll go through in second place and face France in the round of 16.
I'm just wondering why Carrasco feels like he has to go for that, because there's a lot of tired bodies out on the pitch, and what you don't want to do is turn the ball over and lose possession and Ukraine go down the other end and score a goal.
2.5 minutes to play in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Ukraine need a goal, but it's Belgium on the attack. Good challenge, Stepanenko. Out of play for a Belgium corner. Approaching the final few seconds in Frankfurt. Charlie Slater.
It is all but over. We have just a few seconds remaining. In fact, we've played over the 3 minutes that have been added on. And this is huge for both nations. The Romania manager before this game said that this is a crossroads and a moment of truth for Romanian people. They've not qualified for the last 16 of the Euros since the year 2000, and Slovakia themselves have only done it once before as a single nation. Both coaches, both sets of players, both sets of substitutes are ready for the final whistle here, which would be a historic final whistle for both of these teams. It remains Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Wonderful atmosphere inside this stadium. 58,000 people, most of them in the yellow of Romania. There is a red flare that's been lit up. Some of the Romanian substitutes are already dancing and singing with delight along with their fellow compatriots who are in the stands, friends, family, as the ball is cleared forwards and the referee blows his final whistle, and both Slovakia and Romania are through to the last 16 of the Euros. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, the celebrations are wild. It's like they've just won the Euros, but as I said, credit to both teams. They weren't fancies at the start of the tournament to get out of this group, but yeah, brilliant.
Slovakia 1, Romania 1, good enough for them both.
And good enough for Belgium as well. The final whistle goes in Stuttgart. It ends Ukraine 0, Belgium 0. Ukraine's European Championship journey ends in Stuttgart. Belgium make it through. They were far from convincing, but they get the point that they need. Ukrainian players collapse on the floor. Devastation for them. They gave it absolutely everything, but they couldn't take the myriad chances created. And their Euro 2024 journey comes to an end. Belgium make it through, but make it through in second place. Romania top the group, Belgium in second, Slovakia in third. Ukraine go home on 4 points, which is incredibly harsh because I dare say there'll be some teams who make it through in third with fewer points than 4, but such was the complexion of this remarkable group that all 4 teams finish on 4 points. It's Romania, Belgium and Slovakia through. Ukraine are out. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, not a fantastic game of many chances created by either team. Quite cagey affair. You would have thought that Ukraine would have gone for it more. I really thought that they were going to throw everything at the final 10 minutes. They didn't. Belgium, they're poor. They weren't great today, but they've got the job done. They've progressed through, and that's all they'll be thinking about tonight.
So Romania top the group. They'll play either Slovenia or Netherlands next, depending on events in Group F tonight. Belgium are through to play France in the round of 16. That's another juggernaut added to a top-heavy half. And Slovakia in third will play either Spain or England in the round of 16. Full time in Stuttgart. Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, Romania, Belgium and Slovakia progress.